Most people believe that reaching C1 level in English takes many, many years. Maybe 10, maybe even more. And maybe you believe it too. You've studied English for a long time, but you still feel like something is missing. You can speak, but not freely. You can understand, but not everything. You're not a beginner, but you're not fluent either. You're somewhere in the middle, the B1 zone, and it feels like you're stuck there forever. But here's the truth. It's not because English is too hard. It's because most people focus on the wrong things. In this story, you'll learn 6 powerful steps that can help you escape the plateau and move to real fluency faster than you ever imagined. Let's start with why so many learners stay stuck. When you first start learning English, everything feels exciting. Every new word feels like progress. You learn greetings, you learn how to describe your day, you watch your first movie in English with subtitles and feel proud because you understand a few lines. But after a while, the progress slows down. You study more, but you don't improve much. You start to feel tired. You feel like your English is good enough for daily life. And that's exactly where most learners stop growing. Scientists call this the interlanguage stage. It's when your brain builds its own mini version of English. It works. It helps you communicate in familiar situations. You can talk to your friends, order food, write short messages. But when you step into a more advanced world, job interviews, university discussions, fast native speakers, your English suddenly feels small, and you freeze. You can't find the right words. Your confidence drops. This is not failure. It's just your comfort zone. And to grow, you have to step outside of it. So let's begin your journey out of the plateau. 6 steps. 6 new habits that can change everything.
Step 1. Speak every day. Here's the biggest mistake most learners make. They wait until they feel ready to speak. They think, I'll speak when my grammar is better. I'll speak when my vocabulary is bigger. But the truth is, you'll never feel ready. Speaking is how you get ready. Your brain learns through repetition. The more you use English, the faster your brain connects the words, sounds, and grammar patterns together. Every time you speak, you're building mental roads. The more you drive on those roads, the smoother they become. So speak every single day. You don't need a teacher. You don't even need a partner. You just need your voice. Talk to yourself in the mirror. Describe your day. Tell the story of your morning in English. Record yourself for 1 minute, then 2, then 5. Don't try to be perfect. Just speak. When you do this every day, your brain begins to notice mistakes automatically. You start to hear what sounds right and what doesn't. Even if it feels strange, keep going. Confidence comes from action, not from waiting. Remember, fluency is not something you reach one day. It's something you build every day.
Step 2. Listen to real English. Many learners can understand slow English, like what you hear in textbooks or classroom recordings. But real English, that's another world. When native speakers talk fast, use slang or cut words, it suddenly feels impossible to follow. Here's the problem. Your brain is trained to understand slow, clear, school English. But the real world doesn't speak that way. You need to train your ear to the natural rhythm of the language. So how do you do that? Start with something you actually enjoy. Maybe a YouTube channel, a TV show, or a podcast. Watch one episode with subtitles. Understand the story. Then, watch the same episode again without subtitles. The second time, your brain will already know what's going on, so it can focus on the sounds. This method is called narrow listening. You can also repeat the same video or podcast several times. At first, you'll catch only 50%, then 70%, then 90%. Every time you listen, you'll understand more. It's like training your brain at the gym. Each repetition makes it stronger. If you're brave, you can even shadow what you hear. That means speaking at the same time as the speaker, copying their rhythm and pronunciation. It's fun and it works fast. When you do this regularly, something magical happens. English stops sounding like noise. You start to hear structure, rhythm, emotion. You start to think in English.
Step 3. Read more to grow your vocabulary. Listening builds your ear. Speaking builds your confidence. Reading builds your vocabulary. Think about it. When you only listen or speak, you meet the same words again and again. Simple, everyday ones. But reading opens the door to a much bigger world. Books, articles, and stories use 2 or 3 times more unique words than conversations. That's why advanced learners always read. You don't need to read Shakespeare. You just need something interesting and understandable. Blogs, short stories, news, or even graded readers like this one. Don't stop every time you see a new word. Read for meaning, not perfection. Focus on repeated expressions. Notice how words connect naturally. When you find a word you love, write it down. Try to use it in your next sentence. Read it out loud. Reading out loud is a secret weapon. It trains your pronunciation and your memory at the same time. And if you want to make this even more powerful, read and listen together. Play the audiobook while reading the same text. Your brain will connect the spelling, sound, and rhythm of each word. It's called shadow reading, and it can take your pronunciation to the next level. The more you read, the more you'll notice something amazing. Words that once looked impossible suddenly feel familiar. And soon, you'll be using them naturally in your own sentences.
Step 4. Live in English. Fluency doesn't come from study alone. It comes from living in the language. If English is something you only study for 30 minutes a day, it will always feel like homework. But if English becomes part of your daily life, something you hear, see, and feel, your progress will explode. Start small. Change your phone, your laptop, and your apps to English. Follow English-speaking accounts on social media. Watch English videos instead of your native ones. Listen to English music. Create an English world around you, even if you live in your own country. At first, your brain will resist. You'll miss your comfort zone. But after a few weeks, something will shift. You'll start thinking in English. You'll start dreaming in English. You'll start answering questions in your head in English. That's the magic of immersion. When you live in the language, learning never stops. Every word, every sound becomes a chance to grow. Step 5. Get feedback and fix mistakes early. Practice is powerful, but practice without correction can be dangerous. When you make the same mistake again and again, your brain begins to believe it's correct. This is called fossilization, and it's one of the main reasons people stay stuck at B1. The solution? Feedback. You need someone, a tutor, a speaking partner, or even a friend who can help you notice your mistakes. Don't be afraid of correction. Correction is not criticism, it's growth. Every time someone corrects you, it's a gift. It's a small door opening toward fluency. Keep a small notebook or a mistake journal. Every time you make an error, write it down and review it later. If you often say, "He said me," write the correct version, "He told me." Then practice it again and again until it feels natural. And remember, Feedback doesn't always have to come from a person. It can come from apps, subtitles, or even your own recordings. When you listen to yourself, you hear things you don't notice while speaking. The more you welcome feedback, the faster your English will change.
Step 6. Build a powerful mindset. Learning a language is not only about grammar and words, it's also about mindset. When you reach the B1 level, you already know a lot, but because you don't feel fluent, you often feel stuck or tired. This is normal. It's called the plateau. Everyone goes through it. The problem is that many people give up right there. They think, I'm not improving. Maybe English isn't for me. But that's not true. You're improving, just more slowly, more deeply. Your brain is reorganizing knowledge, connecting patterns, building confidence. You just need to stay consistent. Science shows that short, daily practice is much more effective than long, rare study sessions. 10 or 20 minutes every day is enough if you do it consistently. Celebrate your small wins. Did you finish a podcast today? Great. Did you learn a new phrase and use it in conversation? Amazing. Did you finally understand a scene in your favorite movie without subtitles? That's progress. Every small victory brings you closer to fluency. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Even native speakers make them all the time. Mistakes are signs that you're trying, that you're growing, that you're alive in the language. The real danger isn't mistakes, it's silence. So speak, even when it's hard. Listen, even when it's fast. Read, even when you don't understand every word. Keep going. Fluency isn't a destination, it's a lifestyle.
English fluency doesn't come from luck. It doesn't come from talent. It comes from habits, the small things you do every single day. Speak, listen, read, live in English, get feedback, and build a strong mindset. If you do these 6 things, your English will grow naturally and powerfully. One day, you'll look back and realize you're no longer a learner, you're a communicator. You don't think in your native language anymore. You think in English. So don't wait. Start today. Build your world in English, because fluency is not somewhere far away. It's one step away from where you are right now. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Here, we learn English through inspiring stories, real examples, and easy listening practice. Every week, you'll hear new stories that help you grow your vocabulary, listening, and confidence, all while relaxing and enjoying the journey. So hit that subscribe button and let's grow together, one story at a time.